Hey guys, I'm Seb Sanford, and this is part 2 of my highlights from 2018. For my next topic, it's my favorite songs of 2018. I want to go through all of them, but I'm probably going to show you some of the songs on this piece of paper that I've written. Take a look. In case you don't know Dalton Harris, which is on my list, he's the winner of 2018's X Factor in the UK. He's originally from Jamaica, and he won the X Factor, and his voice is just astounding. And I also like Love You Anyway by Michael Bublé, and Say Something by Justin Timberlake. And I also like a bit of For You by Liam Payne and Rita Ora from 50 Shades Freed. I didn't like 50 Shades Freed, but I like the soundtrack. That's why I like For You. And I also like In My Blood by Shawn Mendes, a fellow Canadian from Toronto. And I enjoyed listening to his self-titled album. And I can't wait for him to tour the Rogers Center in September next year. This is the next selection of songs that I put on my list. Yep, this sheet is double-sided. There was one other song that I want to mention that I didn't put on my list, but have listened to many times before the year is up. It's called Fire on Fire by Sam Smith. It's a lovely song. It's almost like an orchestral romance sort of song, but it's featured in the miniseries on the BBC and on Netflix. It's titled Watership Down. And if you haven't watched Watership Down on Netflix or on the BBC yet, please do. It has the voices of James McAvoy, John Boyega, and Peter Capaldi, and in fact a couple of British actors and actresses, an all-star British cast in this 4-part miniseries of Watership Down, and Sam Smith, I think he's done a wonderful job with this song, Fire on Fire. Okay, it's time to move over to my next topic on my highlights from 2018. The favorite highlights outside of home, like in and around Bath and out of Bath, like Toronto, France, etc. Okay, first off, I enjoyed going back to Disneyland Resort Paris. It was the first time in 8 years. Like, during the beginning of the year in 2018, let me tell you about my happiness level. I was missing 80% of my happiness, and luckily my 80% of my happiness was found, and I never felt so happy in my life after so many years of loving Disney and Pixar and probably everything Disney, and exploring the parks and going on the roller coasters and meeting Mickey Mouse backstage in Fantasyland. It was just the highlight of 2018. If any of you guys have missed it or haven't seen my trip to Disneyland Paris, I'll show you a little clip of what went down. Take a look. I've never been more happy. And I also enjoyed taking part in Disney. I already went through Disney. I also enjoyed taking part in Canada's National Ballet School's Sharing Dance Day 2018. It was taking place in Toronto's Harbourfront Centre. I think it was my first time at the Harbourfront, and it was a beautiful setting, and we get to celebrate through dance, and I was glad I learned the choreography from the past couple months, starting from the beginning of the year, and I can still remember some of the moves in my head, and I'm looking forward to 2019's Sharing Dance events in Toronto, and it's also in celebration of the ballet school's 60th birthday, and I think they're going to cook up some fresh ideas for the ballet school's 60th, so how about a little tiny look at the choreography that I finally remembered on the day of Sharing Dance. enjoyed going on my family trip to Greece, like Seronida and Athens and many sites of Greece. Like it's like a 3.5 hour flight from Bristol, and beautiful sunshine. And in fact, it was like 30 degrees C all day long. For 2 weeks straight, and I enjoyed the sunshine, and I really enjoyed windsurfing on the beach. And I did survive the trip with about 20 mosquito bites after that, and I'm glad that the mosquito bites are gone. So what more do I have left? And I also enjoyed meeting the host of The X Factor in the UK, Dermot O'Leary. And he came to Bath for the Bath Children's Literature Festival to talk about his children's book titled Toto the Ninja Cat, and it was a great honor having my picture taken with him and the illustrator Nick East, who drew the illustrations for the 2 Toto the Ninja Cat books. And I think I'm looking very forward to him hosting the X Factor on another year and writing another Toto book. And I'm enjoying reading the second book already. I'm sorry, I'm running out of breath right now. And meeting Dermot O'Leary was also the highlight of 2018 alongside Disneyland. And I also enjoyed seeing Michael Morpurgo talking about his take on The Snowman. It was a classic Christmas story from Raymond Briggs, and I'm glad that it has dialogue. And I like the idea that Morpurgo is using 3 pieces of Brussels sprouts as buttons for the snowman. And like in the original Snowman, they used 3 pieces of coal, and in Morpurgo's version, he used 3 pieces of Brussels sprouts. Two different colors and 2 different takes on a classic Christmas story. And I also enjoyed watching the Logan Paul vs. KSI boxing match on YouTube. I managed to pay £6 on YouTube before it was discounted at the end of July. And I say congratulations, Logan, on having a good fight. And I know it was a draw, and I'm looking forward to the rematch in 2019. So, yeah, Logan, you better keep on training and boxing in the gym, and I'm hoping you'll win that rematch against KSI. It's like the story of Creed 2. Like, someone lost. I think Creed lost a boxing match, and then he decided to do a rematch against Dragos. So, do whatever you can, Logan, and try to beat the heck out of KSI in 2019. Looking forward to the rematch. Okay, let's go through the favorite albums that I loved listening to on Apple Music and on CD throughout the past 12 months, starting off with this guy, Michael Bublé, the emoji-titled Love album, and I'm glad he came back strong after spending time with his family, as his son was diagnosed with cancer a couple years ago, and I'm glad that his son was fully recovered. I love the album, and I love the new song that Charlie Puth wrote for him, Love You Anymore. Okay, let's go through the rest of the albums. I enjoyed the soundtrack to Mamma Mia 2, and I liked Cher's Dancing Queen album, which is her covering some of the famous ABBA songs, and she tweeted a couple months ago her track list of what her second ABBA album will be like. I'm hoping that wish comes true next year. And I also enjoyed the Bohemian Rhapsody album. I love Queen, and I love the revisiting of Don't Stop Me Now, which is featured at the end of the movie with the classic music video Don't Stop Me Now. And I also enjoyed listening to Zayn's second album, Icarus Falls, and I'm glad he came back strong. I know some of these songs, Dusk Till Dawn and Still Got Time, weren't featured on the album, but I think Zayn has done a really good job going solo after leaving One Direction, and I think he's finally managing to fight his anxiety attacks, because that's one of the main reasons of mental health, and I'm hoping he'll be able to I hope he'll be able to fight off the anxiety attacks in coming years or months. That way he can go on tour. It maybe won't happen, but I'm hoping it happens. So, but Icarus Falls, it was a great album to listen to. 26 or 27 tracks. Zayn managed to pull off that album after writing Mind of Mine back in 2016. Those are my favorite albums from 2018.